Okay, and we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Honey Badger Radio. My name is Brian. I'm here with Allison, and this is Maintaining Frame. Wait, what's going on here? Maintaining Frame number. What number is this? 184. Love is Blind.
Mm-hmm.
Women most affected.
Yep.
And
essentially, it's about the Love is Blind reality TV show where I guess couples compete to get married, to be the first to get married or the first for a proposal or something.
yeah.
Unless you can explain the premise of it. It seems very something I would never watch, honestly, outside of the general cultural commentary that we make. But yeah, so today we're responding to Bryrony Claire. She has thoughts on this phenomenon, the blind spot, and she reflects a lot of the same thoughts of an increasingly large number of women, shall we put it that way, in regards to the relationship between men and women. So it's good to
She
get it
does
out
what?
there. Well, I think she reflects what a lot of women think about the relationship between men and women.
Yeah.
Bryrony Claire. She's not an insignificant voice. I mean, I'm an insignificant voice. Bryrony Claire is a very popular voice, and others like her, like Shira, Manifestel, etc. So it's good to look into and see what the more normie female opinion is, and quail and abject horror at it. So let's should we just start? Let's just let her do her thing. Should I do the other
Yeah.
things? Or
Sure. So let me see here just a second.
while you're doing that, feedthebadger.com/justthetip to send any messages. If you like the stuff we're talking about, you don't like the stuff you're talking about, you want to tell me that I'm wrong on some very important point of detail, you want to correct my pronunciation, that seems to be a common one lately, at feedthebadger.com/justthetip. We get the benefit of whatever funds you send, and you get the benefit of not sending your comments through YouTube's comment thresher system. Take that for whatever way you want. All right, Brian, shall we watch the first?
Yeah.
Let us see what her arguments
time
are.
codes. All right, sure. Let me see here. So we're looking at I'm just scrolling down to find the time codes in this massive document you sent me.
Do you want me to navigate it? Like
if you could tell me the time code, yeah, I could play the intro just to lay out the.
All right, let's just play. Everything starts with the intro, right? Because she just sort of lays out her thesis there. So let's start there.
Yeah.
Johnny Bravo always said, "Hey there, pretty little mama."
No tattoos.
Okay.
You don't put bumper stickers on this car.
I'm just always the nice guy.
What?
No, it never works.
Oh my god.
So, what? Well, this is like a
compilation of the worst moments of men.
Like a stinger type thing for the show. So, okay, wait. Full context, because I guess some of you guys are probably like, what the hell is this about? There is a reality TV show called Love is Blind. And it was basically Bryrony Claire got a request from her listeners to give a reaction to this reality TV show, which is essentially to say, look at this through your intersectional lens and give us your thoughts. So you have an audience of people who are obviously into the show. They're like watching it and they're asking this woman, Bryrony Claire, to give her thoughts on the show. Like, it's almost, what I think it is they're asking permission to like it. Like, is it bad that we enjoy this? Because this is reality TV like this is written for these kinds of, it's written for with women in mind. Generally, they like to watch the relationship dynamics, the social dynamics, the hot mess of people that they have on. It's like pro wrestling. It's just as real.
But the thing is that I don't think many men watch pro wrestling and try to divine secrets about anything from it. No, that's really uncommon. And this is really bizarre. We only have one person watching the live stream. Wow, that's crazy. Um,
Yeah, that's weird.
yeah, that's that
Hopefully,
is
maybe they didn't see it. I don't know.
yeah, that's me. Like I'm the only one watching. Interesting.
No
Okay, let me
way.
just see if this is let me just see that this is actually oh, we back now. Oh, I think they're confused, like something happened to the stream. Let me just double check what's going on with the
So
con
the
the
horizontal on YouTube is broken, but there is a horizontal playing.
yeah. It's just nobody on
So,
it. Interesting. Okay, well,
all right. Well,
hello.
look on the channel, see if you see it.
Oh wait,
I
people are
will
coming in.
grab. I will send the new link through. It looks like it made a new link. It
Yeah.
happens sometimes. So, and I'll just
Yeah,
drop it
okay.
into Discord.
Maybe we should just stick with the horizontal or the vertical.
What?
Okay. Oh no, I just said maybe we should just do verticals. But then again, I guess people would
No,
please go to Rumble
it's sent
for
out
horizontal.
a link too in the Discord. So,
All right. Well,
all right.
everybody
Anyway,
get
get
in
on
for this.
Rumble, guys.
Yeah, get on Rumble. Thanks.
Okay. So this is like a stinger reel that they use to promote the show. So it usually
Mm-hmm.
has like the most emotional, the most
Most
shocking,
dramatic. Yeah.
yeah, the most dramatic moments of the show. So,
This is girl crack.
huh?
I said this is girl crack.
This is girl crap, girl craft.
Girl crack. Girl craft. Girl craft.
Ugh, I mean, what's scarier than this? I mean, other than staying informed of all of the horrors happening in the world and like just looking outside your window, especially if you live in the US, what's better than a dumpster fire to make you feel better about the fact that you're single or super grateful that you're in an actual healthy relationship? Because, spoiler alert, we're not really going to see any of that.
What?
Oh, just her affectation. I guess this really appeals to women. Oh,
Well,
man.
let's unpack that a little bit. So she said that this is a good thing because there's a whole lot of chaos in the world, and of course, especially in the US, even though she doesn't know that because she lives in Australia, and I would argue Australia is in worse shape, but whatever. And also, something you'll be happy you're single, or even better, you're not in a terrible relationship. So we're basically going to watch other people's pain and enjoy ourselves, I guess.
Yes.
So
Yep. Okay.
that's
all
what
right.
she's setting up. Yeah.
But also, this is cherry picked from a season that's cherry picked. Like the for full comprehensive understanding of this phenomenon, I actually analyzed another YouTuber who was a therapist, not Bryrony Claire, who looked at this show, and she points out that the people are selected for being hot messes. So the men are selected, and specifically, most likely, the men are selected to trigger outrage in the women who are watching this because the outrage goes viral. Right. So these are a select group of men who are not selected for emotional maturity or stability or anything. Right. They aren't. And even those that one man in the show that probably the showrunners put in because they were like, okay, this is the guy that all the women will root for because he's so nice and responsible. Right. His name is Jordan. Even that guy gets a send up from Bryrony Claire. She even tears that guy down. Sorry, did I just bury the lead? Because it is completely uncharitable. It's uncharitable on so many levels. The therapist points out that not only are these people chosen to be hot messes, like Brian is talking about, and this season in particular is particularly bad for that. These people are edited. These men have been edited down, taken out of context and edited down to create the maximum amount of drama and outrage porn. Okay? So we're looking at cherry-picked men who are basically actors because this is all fake. Cherry-picked men, cherry-picked moments from those men that are recontextualized to create the greatest amount of outrage. And then we are responding to this and saying, see, this is what men are like. Aren't you grateful to be single, ladies? What?
That's right. That is the point.
Okay, well, let's get in. I guess we don't need to do the rest of this.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Bryrony Claire, her whole vibe is usually to use stuff happening in pop culture to make an argument about reality.
Mm-hmm.
And pop culture is almost never about reality. But she's so convinced it's like it's like confirmation bias that these things must reflect something real because I feel like they do. And so that's what she goes with. And so reality TV is not real. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's completely scripted, but from what I understand, reality TV is, yes, there are interviews involved. Specific people get selected to be in reality television, and it usually has something to do with how much emotional content is going to come out of them, either based on their behavior or their habits or their personality or whatever, their beliefs. And they use them to get the audience to react a certain way because it drives the ratings up, but also because it does, like, they can like craft a narrative, and then they do all of their filming, and then they have a bunch of um editing that happens. So you get all of these highly edited videos. I mean, like, even like we've already talked about how in these sort of shows like Jubilee will have like a big confrontation, and maybe the full encounter, the full meeting was like 2 hours long, but they trim it down to like a half an hour, and they just put the juiciest bits in there, and they have a bunch of cut to reactions and music and whatever it takes, right? So the reality is that. And so Bryrony Claire is getting just like, I don't know, several orders of removal from reality, and then she critiques it as though it is reality, and
Yeah.
her audience eats it up because that's
Yeah.
what they want to hear.
Yeah. And they sink further into the tar pit, honestly.
Well,
and
they do. I mean, I don't know. I think the most regular people are just moving on, but
Mhm.
um
Well,
I don't know.
it's a good schwack of women now.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to become the majority in like 5 years. At least majority single. Maybe not all the single ladies are in this tar pit, but it's a huge schwack of them, Brian. It's
Mhm.
it is an issue, I think. And honestly, it's all based on a complete and utter lie about reality. So they're sinking into this lie more and more and more. And how do you get them out of it? The only way to get them out of it is to challenge the lie. And nobody wants to do it because these women have incredibly small scale control over people's lives. What do you do?
Yep.
Can you tell the HR lady, no, actually patriarchy conjecture is just cope for your own failures? How quickly you're going to end up with a sexual harassment suit on your ass, right? Because it is a sexual harassment suit, even though it's not sexual. If women feel bullied in the workplace, that's a harassment suit right there.
Yep.
No pass go directly to harassment, right? So I mean, and again, they're just sinking, and they're slowly dragging everyone else with them. And yeah, I know that's really freaking depressing, but the first thing to start to solve a problem is to recognize it. And I get that what you're talking about, normal women just doing their lives for the most part. But again, there's still this huge mass, ever expanding mass. We have to somehow figure out how to penetrate, And
Well, what I'm hoping for is that the women who get swept up in this will suffer enough that they will realize that they have been lied to by women like Bryrony Claire, and they will get really angry with her. And I think that, I think that we may see some of that. There might be, let's say, blowback or backlash against women who have convinced other women to self-destruct and
that's
to
what it
blow
is.
up their lives for to basically for clicks or money or just control or just the delight in the chaos. So
Okay, well, I apologize. I'm under siege by the Void Cat.
That's all right.
who does look a little bit like a tar pit. But is she wants her treats and I have none. I guess I could get her a shock collar.
No, let's not do
Go to
that.
your place. No, I'm the one who has to suffer, not the cat. I'm just kidding. I would not do that, especially not to a cat. Like I don't even know. I think that would result in the cat plotting your demise and succeeding in removing you from this earth. All right. Okay, let's
All right, let's play some more.
I haven't made a video on this show before, and this was the first time watching the US version, and this scene in particular inspired me to make this video.
How would you react if at some point your child told you they were LGBTQ+?
No matter what, I'm always gonna love my kids. But like, I can't tell you, I would be the first person to be like, yay!
And the conversation is actually far worse than just this. Saying this with your full chest in the year of 2025, oh my goodness.
Welcome to America, I guess. People have preferences for their kids.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure rural Australians probably do as well.
Those aren't humans, though, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
We're not human. Well, I mean, honestly, if we're not human, why don't they just go make their own society where they can be with other humans and leave the rest of us alone?
Because
But
they need the normal people to produce for them so they can like continue to go online and complain about normal people because they won't do it themselves. They need the energy of the normal so they can like siphon off of it so they can
need to parasitize on the
it to
normal.
they need
okay.
to parasitize off of normal people who produce things like children.
And when you're talking about
requires
normal
you to be
people,
straight, by the way. I don't know if you know, but
you're not
I mean,
talking
you
about
don't have
average
to be,
people anymore. I don't think you're talking about average people anymore, but normal people, not sure. I mean, there's especially normal women are not average anymore, I don't think. Okay, let's all
right, so we have so that was basically the clip that said to her, I have to cover this. Now, this isn't only going to be about that, but yeah. So do you have any time codes? You got
Yes,
some.
I do. I do have time codes. Let me get them now. Because I got a gigantic document.
I found them. I got
okay.
it. Yeah. All right. So let's see.
I have 2 sets of time codes. 2 sets. So you got to decide. I got the ones that'll generate the most interest and the ones that are most relevant to men's issues.
Okay. Well, what do you want to start with? Just give me one.
Okay, negative portrayal. I'm interested in negative portrayal of men. All right, so the time codes are like the whole video. Toxic masculinity and fragile male egos. Time 5 minutes to 6:30. There we go. Let's take a look at that. What she has to say about that.
Okay, here we go.
Sparkles his real age. He's in real estate. Is very finance bro coded.
This is Mike.
Cocky, very arrogant.
I like why does you ever notice that these people say stuff like that? Very such and such bro coded. Did you notice that this is the new way feminists attack men? Is they attach bro to the end of something that men do, and that automatically makes it bad. like say you're a man and you're into I don't know, like a low carb paleo diet. They'll call you a paleo bro. And then that's it. That's the insult. That's the you've been insulted. Take it. If you're like a dude that's into cars, or going to the gym, what do they call them? They call them gym bros. You like going to the gym, you like being fit, you're a gym bro now. And that's the slander. You have been slandered. You should feel shame because I attached bro. It's almost like the suffix bro itself is an insult, which is short for brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she said finance bro coded, which basically means I suspect that he is a bro that works with money and that makes him bad. So
brings up biohacking unironically. Thinking about it, he probably looks up to Brian Johnson. You know that guy that injected his son's plasma to try and stay young forever? He asked if she'd be...
Brian Johnson is weird as shit, and He's one of these guys that wants to live forever.
Is that the guy who compared his nighttime tumulescence or nighttime erections with his son's?
I think so. He's a weird guy. Like he's trying to live forever. He basically like gets his son to like donate plasma to him. So he's like literally draining his son's life force and giving it to himself. This guy's like a lich. Like they're like that's but or a vampire or something. But not at all a normal dude. Like this is like this guy's super rich and just weird. Like there are rich people who are trying to live forever. You ever notice that some of the most evil rich people live to be 100?
Mm,
Pretty
Like-
sure it's the adrenochrome and the
it's
babies
almost like
and the stem cells or something. But
or the bathing
yeah.
in the blood of virgins. It's like almost like Mr. Burns was a cautionary tale.
yeah,
Considering all the things that he did that now rich people want to do to the rest of us, or well, not all rich people. I'm sure there's quite a few rich people who just want to live their lives, but these billionaires.
I imagine the majority of them do. But I think the people who think that they can transcend mortality, there are a
Yeah.
few of them. I mean, you know that they're rare because they make the news. So
Mhm.
Brian Johnson, yeah,
Yeah.
most basic name ever. Yeah. Anyway,
No,
so
Johnson. John
Johnson,
Joe Johnson.
John Joe Johnson. That sounds
That would
like
be the
one of the agents from the Matrix, Mr. Johnson. I think there is actually a guy named Agent
Mr.
Johnson.
Agent Johnson. All I
think
remember
so,
is
yeah.
Agent Smith. Okay, right.
Anyway.
So Bryrony has an issue with this individual. Oh, okay. This doesn't reflect on all men. Maybe this one dude, yes. But again, she's going to call it toxic masculinity if she hasn't already. And once again, we have to remind everyone that the people that use the term toxic masculinity recognize no other form of masculinity but toxic.
Well, she's already. So I think this is an interesting point because she has this guy, and he's talking about biohacking. Okay,
Mhm.
again, this is like health stuff, basically. She immediately tries to make it sound like eugenics. So it's all like whatever men try to do to better themselves or to protect their families or provide or whatever, or just compete in the marketplace of like, marriage and commitment and family. She has to attribute something negative to it. So she immediately jumps from this guy's into biohacking to he is into eugenics to he's just like Brian Johnson, the guy who wants to live forever. There's no evidence of that. But that's all she has to do is make a couple of correlations, and the women in her audience will be like, yep, that's exactly what kind of man he is. It's literally the so you're saying that's basically what she's doing.
Yeah, I
She's
would
doing
like
the
to make
Newman.
a proposition, completely apropos of nothing and with no evidence. I believe that Bryrony is actually the countess that used to kill virgin girls and bathe in their blood.
Why am I forgetting her name? But I know who you're
I
talking about.
I am also forgetting her name. I have no idea why.
Yeah.
It's just blanking on her name. But yes, I have absolutely no evidence of this, but I just choose to believe it because it's convenient to the narrative that I am pretending I have right now.
Yeah, she was in Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. I know that, but she's a real historical figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm forgetting
Yeah.
her name. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah, that's exactly what Bryrony is. No, not Morgan Le Fay. No. Morgan Le Fay is from Arthurian legend. It was like
that's from
Mary? Oh no.
Mary,
Mary,
Queen
no.
of Scots. That she did it religiously. That it wasn't about
Bathory?
vanity. Bathory, yeah. Something not Mary Bathory, but Elizabeth Bathory, something like that.
Elizabeth Bathory?
No,
not Mary
of
Queen of
Scots.
Scots. That's
That
different.
was a Catholic thing. It was religious.
Yeah.
She didn't
Yeah.
bathe in the blood for vampiric reasons.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, anyway.
You're getting your mass female murderers mixed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it murder? if it's
Elizabeth
like,
Bathory. I think it was Elizabeth Bathory.
it might be.
Elizabeth, who was The woman,
Elizabeth
the
Bathory.
countess who bathed
It
in
was
the
a
blood of
countess for
virgins.
sure.
Yeah, because it's countesses who are always the evil ones, right?
Yeah.
It's not duchesses. Duchess. Duchess is, Duchess is either a society lady or some British woman who rides horses a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The steeplechase. Okay, my Grok is being slow. Let's just go with Elizabeth Bathory
Okay.
and let's move on.
We just made
has
this
been
assumption about
Yeah, we just made
Bryrony
an
Claire, but it's
assumption.
probably right because we said it and we said it to you guys in public. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. So what more do we need to prove that she's actually Elizabeth Bathory bathing in the blood of virgins?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go on.
All right, let's keep going.
To Brian Johnson, you know, that guy that injected his son's plasma to try and stay young forever? He asked if she'd be angry if he left dirty dishes around the place, and Sparkles replies saying that she's into traditional gender roles. She really likes the idea of a provider and that sense of security.
Quote unquote the provider, but like the security and the safety.
He's very
Yeah.
Okay, what's wrong with that? Honestly,
They're not
if they're
supposed to
happy
like
with
that.
they're happy with the arrangement of the way that they want to arrange their lives, fine. I want to take care of my woman. And she's like, yeah. Oh my God, that's so horrible, says.
Yeah, that's funny. Like, there's an opportunity here because feminists, they want to dismantle the gender roles, right?
Mhm.
And we've been saying since the very beginning that it's interesting that they never say explicitly to women that they have to alter their preferences in order to make this work, right? They only push this on men to say that men should be giving up power to women and men should be willing to be stay-at-home dads and that they should be willing to, be like in the submissive role or whatever. They're always saying that and they don't say anything to women. And what often happens is that the few men that are foolish enough to follow those instructions often end up either never finding a woman or the woman resents him over time because the woman still expects the traditional roles from the men. And so what we have now is it's well, I mean, in the
it's
rare
not
case
precisely
it works,
traditional. It is only
Huh?
traditional in regards to the man's role.
Right.
Like a
That's what I
traditional
mean.
female role
it's
is
not
also
really
providing,
traditional.
but-
It's women expect traditional from men and chivalry from
Mhm.
men, but also they want liberation and authority for themselves. So you don't have an egalitarian setup or a patriarchal setup. You have only a setup that benefits women in whatever context is desired. And Bryrony here has an opportunity to say, ladies, you should be willing to take on the role of provider or do the things that have more often been considered masculine because in a real egalitarian society like there would be no difference in the roles. But she doesn't say that. She doesn't say that because that would upset her audience because they do want that and she wants that even.
Well, remember Morning Glory Milking Farm, the woman who was
Yes.
getting the vapors when the bull man was like, put your wallet away, darling. I got this. I'm a bull who wants to treat his cow. Like, and all the women were like, oh, I wish that I wish. And it's like, yes. He says, I want to take care of my woman. And Bryrony is turning that into some horrible thing. And yet, if you really look at the history of this, right? This is new. The idea of a homemaker versus a homesteader, a woman who is productive in the context of, like a small plot of land or a small farm or whatever, that's completely new. That is something constructed by Hollywood in the 50s. It took women's role from one of productivity to consumption in the 50s. That's the first stage of all of this. From production to consumption. And it's recently I watched this little compilation of all of the types of fruit and berries that used to be used in baking in the US. All across the U.S. So it's the U.S. is really big, lots of different biomes, lots of different very local fruits and berries, and it went through 20 of them that no longer exist on the table for the U.S. like gooseberries, persimmons, and other things that Americans would use locally to create sweets and baked goods. And each one of those items, each one of those types of fruit, and the reason why they were no longer used is because they were seasonal. They had very specific preparation methods that were complex and couldn't be industrialized. And what happened is they took all of the women with all of that specialized knowledge to create productivity from their local environment, and they replaced them all with consumptive homemakers who just bought sugary pablum for their families. So you went from women who would know what to harvest, when to harvest it, how to prepare it, because a lot of the stuff is astringent or bitter or toxic if you don't prepare it right. And they could take all of that and produce sweet things in a time when sugar was very expensive or completely non-existent, right? So this was very specialized knowledge that women had about their environment and how to produce using things from their environment. And it disappeared and was replaced by the homemaker who takes it out of a box and puts it, like, slops it into a tray and puts it in an oven, and that's it. So we go from that, like a woman who, you know, knows what's in season, knows how to prepare it, knows how to harvest it, knows how to make sure that it can last throughout the winter. We went from that to someone who does 3 hours a day, if that, and buys everything and has everything automated for her. And that's why this is completely artificial. This is not traditional. The woman with that kind of local knowledge, that was traditional. The woman who was productive in the context of home and hearth, that was traditional, right? Even in Proverbs 31, a woman who bought and sold and invested wisely so that she increased the fortunes of her family, that was traditional. This is a Hollywood construction from the 50s. And it's only traditional because now we've got this new thing. At that time, they were changing women from being local producers, right, to consumers. And they were changing the mentality of women from, I need to produce these things for my family, to I consume these things, and it's about me and my leisure, what I enjoy, what I look like, that kind of thing. So they were changing that mentality through all of this advertising. And then when they had basically run out of ways to change our women into consumers, they invented this new form of consumption, which was rights as consumable goods, right? Not rights and responsibilities to put in service to society, but rights as consumable goods that you are being excluded from because of men's mendacity. So they went from the consuming housewife to the consuming boss babe. And none of that is traditional. None of it. And this isn't a traditional arrangement of a family, right? If it was traditional, she would be saying, well, I'm bringing in these skills and these resources to our family to help support the production of a household and children. This is just a modern woman defined by consumption saying, I want you to underwrite my consumptive lifestyle, and him saying, yeah, I take an identity from that. I take a positive identity as a man from that. And neither you're right, Bryrony Claire is not saying to women, step up, get out of that role, become better or different or more, or go back and really think about what the traditional role for women really was and really go back to that. She's not saying any of that. She's just simply continuing with this narrative that women are victims of all of these iterations of centering the world on their consumption, on their needs, on what they want. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a little long digression. It was a lot of thoughts I put out there. I apologize.
It's all right.
Hopefully you find them edifying on some level, or you get something out of them.
So yeah, it is Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess, or Carmilla Elizabeth Bathory.
Mhm.
I was thinking it was Carnilla or something, but it's Carmilla Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess. Okay, so that's who
Yeah.
made this video. I'm just gonna go with that.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so this man says, the woman says, or I'm sorry, the man says, I want to take care of my woman. The woman's like, yes, I do. So you have the meme where you have the guy shaking hands, and the man's like, I will take care of you. And the woman's like, I would like that. And Bryrony Claire is autistically screeching in the background because that breaks the gender roles thing that she had, like her whole concept of breaking gender roles is shattered. But she won't actually tell
Oh yeah,
women
that's right.
to do that
It is.
because yes,
It is a traditional gender role in that there is a role for men and a role for women.
yes. Well, the idea
You
is
could
that
say
she
that
would
about-
be like, go ahead.
You could say that, like, if women enslaved men, you could still call that a traditional gender role and call it men oppressing women because it's a role for men and it's a role for women. And then Bryrony Claire would say that is traditional, therefore that's patriarchal, therefore men are oppressing women by being their slaves.
Yeah.
This logic is okay. It's okay. All right.
Okay.
It's
All
interesting.
right.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
I love that you said that, honestly.
I thought that she said that she was rich and guys were intimidated by her. So you want someone even richer than you? And then it gets revealed that Mike is part of a tribe.
What? Wait. What?
That are like, well,
Who
I
was-
guess what?
Okay, just a second. Who was it? Was that Megan or Sparkles Megan or whatever her name is? Who was the woman
Sparkles,
that he
yeah.
was taught? Sparkles. Okay, so this is really interesting because we're going to get into an analysis of how Bryrony Claire views Jordan, who is
Yes.
not rich like Mike, or at least not willing to
Right.
pretend he's rich like Mike.
But for whatever reason, the amount of money they're bringing to a reality TV show about relationships seems to matter a lot to Bryrony, like especially what the women are bringing. Like not like the let's put it like this. She's very concerned with the disparities in wealth between the men and the women if the men have less than the women when they're coming together. Even if the parties don't care about that. Even if the woman who has more is like, no, this is okay. Bryrony has an issue with this and immediately assumes that this guy is taking advantage of her in some way. You know?
Which
is
guy is
weird.
this?
Yeah.
Which guy is this?
I don't
Is
know.
this-
The
is
Asian guy?
this
I don't know
Mike?
their names.
Oh goodness. Let me go and
Yeah.
I have all my notes on this other computer, so I'm gonna have to set it up. So excuse my craziness, but I think this is Mike.
No problem.
But it might be Jordan. These guys look all alike. Even when they're different races, they look all alike. Just a second. Here we go. New one. All right, let me open up. I need like opening things. Oh, that I don't have. I was trying to use that mouse, but it wasn't the right mouse. Okay. All right, Coral. I did like analysis through 3 different AIs. No, I need Coral, right? Okay, so this is who is this? This is Mike, I'm pretty sure. What time code are we at?
This is 5 minutes and 36 seconds.
So I think this is still Mike.
Yeah, it's the same
Yeah.
toxic masculinity and insecurity thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's still Mike. Let's continue.
All right.
that are part of it.
With 6 pillars. And being the trash panda that I am, I went and scurried around on the internet and found out that he's part of GoBundance. That is their real name. To quote the website, it's full of high-performance men who refuse to coast. But the thing is that Mike needs a wife because he needs someone to go grocery shopping for him because he gets so confused.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
And this is Sparkles Megan. Okay, this is really interesting. And you know what? I think probably we can abandon this particular set of time codes at this point in time because we should really look at what Bryrony Claire subsequently says about Jordan. So let me just lay down the conflict here. And I know this is a lot of drama, just bear with us. Mike is supposedly a rich dude. Now there's some question because he has debts to his suppliers and other stuff, but he presents himself as a rich dude. Now Bryrony is concerned about that because he talks about wanting to take care of his woman, and of course that's patriarchal conditioning and other. Sparkles Megan, I know the name just ridiculous, but whatever. Sparkles Megan apparently wanted Bryrony here notes that Sparkles Megan wants somebody who's richer than her, which is interesting because Sparkles Megan is a very successful businesswoman in and of herself, which is going to become important when we talk about Bryrony Claire's attitude towards Jordan. Now we can go through all of Bryrony Claire's video,
Elizabeth
but I think
Bathory's claims.
Elizabeth Bathory's
The
claims,
blood countess.
yeah, we could go through the blood countess's claims, all of them. But I think that I think it's going to be more beneficial if we zero in on Mike, Sparkles Megan, and Jordan and her opinions on these three people. And again, she's saying she's casting shade on Megan wanting a man who makes more than her, right? So, and she's also casting shade on Mike presenting himself as that kind of man. And now we all know and are willing to admit on this channel that women generally want men who earn more than them throughout the world. And this is a universal. I actually asked Grok. I know people are gonna be like, oh, Grok, no, you shouldn't do that. But if there's any culture in the world where men are not expected to protect and provide, and get this, even matrilinear, or what feminists term matriarchal cultures, still expect men to protect and provide. It is universal. And Mike is presenting himself as that kind of man. What a shock in a scenario in which his ability to attract a woman is how he wins.
Yep.
And he's presenting himself as the thing that women find attractive. So anyway, this is just setting the stage. Mike is presenting himself as an attractive man, as a protector and provider. Sparkles Megan is saying, I like that. But also Bryrony or Bathory, Elizabeth Bathory is saying that she's calling Sparkles out for liking that and wanting a man that earns more. But let's hear what Bryrony has to say. Is it Bryrony?
The blood countess.
The blood countess.
We're just going to counter the blood. The blood countess from now on. It makes it more fun for me to refer to her instead of Bryrony, because Bryrony sounds ridiculous and made up, and it's probably her real name, and I blame her parents. But I'll just say blood countess. So yeah.
Okay.
She'd probably appreciate that too, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Okay. So I can't show you this because it's on my other computer. But I'm asking her, or I'm asking Perplexity to explain to me how to summarize how Bryrony responds to Jordan, who is his man, and give you an idea of Jordan's background. He is a single father. He has a small apartment. He sleeps on the couch, a small one-room apartment. He sleeps on the couch so his son can have the bedroom. He's very frugal, although apparently quite hardworking and responsible and mature, right? If we want, we can actually see where he's introduced. Sorry, guys, I probably should have. I don't even think he is, because he's not. I asked Perplexity or Coral to give us all the times in this video where she's talking about men negatively, and she doesn't really talk about Jordan negatively, except to cast shade on the potential of between Sparkles Megan and Jordan's relationship. I don't. Do you have a time code that includes her questioning of Jordan?
With regards to Jordan?
Yes.
It looks like
go ahead.
It looks like there are, from what I'm seeing, I don't see negative things with Jordan, but let's go to that section, because pretty sure none of the men on this show and a lot of the women didn't get out of this thing unharmed, I'll say. So 614 30 17, so let's do 614. So maybe like right here.
More scandals have been coming out about Mike, that he hasn't been paying for services, especially from small businesses that he's used for his own booming business. He runs Zen House Homes. Yes, he's one of those dude bros.
Wait a minute. I thought that was the time code you sent me. Now I got to look again.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what? Let's just go
6:54.
with
I'm
her.
sorry, 6:54. I was in the wrong. It's later. Let's go
Okay.
like right here.
Single dad. Like, he co-parents with his ex, so they've got like 50-50 arrangement going on.
I'm a single dad, so that occupies
Wow.
quite a bit of time, and that's my number one priority.
But it could possibly also be due to his immaturity issues. He's really open, saying that
Yeah, that's okay. So she calls him immature. Apparently, she assumes he has immaturity issues. So that might be why he's a single dad, I guess.
Mm.
Even though I think there was also like a bit, because you know how feminists they sort of like they chip away at single fatherhood. They have their way of attacking it by, because they claim that, the fatherlessness crisis is men's fault because they're not sticking around and taking care of the kids, right? They're not sticking around. But when there are single fathers, when you have the reverse of that, that's also a problem, because single fathers get a lot of credit and kudos just for being fathers, like undeserved. Like, society overly rewards single fatherhood and overly condemns single motherhood, like that kind of thing. So
Yeah. Well, okay. So one of the reasons why I wanted to actually, and I sent you, I think the time codes of when she discusses Jordan's relationships is, and one of the reasons why I want to discuss this is because I looked throughout all of this, and I looked at the criticism of this show, including the criticism of that therapist that I mentioned earlier. This is all cherry picked. So we can go through and we can look at Bryrony cherry picking the cherry picking and all of the behavior of these men. But once again, the real problem is not the specific bad behavior of these men, because these men were chosen to create offense, and then they were selectively edited to refine that offense to be offensive to the target audience, which is single women, right? So this was all manufactured. So we can go through and look at all of the instances where Bryrony Claire calls out male behavior and do what? All we can do is say, this is cherry picked. This doesn't apply to all men. In this case, I don't even think it's really particularly negative, because he's just saying, I want to take care of a woman. How is that negative, really? It's like we went through the sexism text, and thinking a woman is in every way better than a man is a benevolent sexism against women. It's like, this is not negative to women, Bryrony. Just because this man wants to take care of his woman doesn't make it. But anyway, she's going to select all of the bits that create the most outrage from a selection that's already selected to create the most outrage and have the most outrageous male behavior to present to a female audience so they can cluck over it. So and
a lot of it is also kind of twisted to look more outrageous than it actually is,
yes,
too. It's not just cherry picked, but it's also distorted. Beyond comprehension. Like, it's unrecognizable, likely from the original context. So
yes,
yeah.
So like you were saying before, this is multiple layers of redirection of this issue. But the main issue is that this is being constructed in the first place, right? It is being cherry picked to appeal to this audience of women in the tar pit who want to justify staying in the tar pit because men are so terrible. It's cherry picked to create outrage, because outrage creates viral clips, right? So that's and if we look at each of her examples, what do we do with them? They're all tainted. They're all irrelevant, and we'd all be repeating this. Well, I wanted to get into one specific example, which is how she treats this character, Jordan. All right. Did you get the time codes?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Yeah,
so I removed to that first one.
Okay, let's go look at how she talks about Jordan.
Okay.
Part of a wealth club. If you have so much money, sir, why are you not paying your employees and service providers?
I am just seeing so many red flags all over the place.
That's Mike, not Jordan.
What?
That the why aren't you paying your service providers is in reference to Mike, which is
Yeah.
she had words for him because he was talking about how he's wealthy and he's going to take care of her. And
Right.
Sparkles Megan was like, "Oh, I like that. I like a man who does that." And then Bryrony was like, "Well, you're rich, but you want an even richer person." So, but now
Yeah.
we're going to see what Bryrony does when a man doesn't earn as much as the woman. So let's go for it.
Okay.
who's a dad guy. He's got a 5-year-old son called Luca and says that women don't want to date him when they find out that he's got a son. And part of me is wondering if they're thinking that they might have to like do all of the child rearing when he's introducing himself as a single dad. Like he co-parents with his ex, so they've got like 50-50 arrangement going on.
So, yeah, okay. So now there's a suggestion. Like, this is the thing. Like, her interpretations are all about as uncharitable to the men
As it could possibly get.
as she can possibly make them. So,
Mhm.
a single dad is trying to enter a relationship. Oh, he's trying to get you to raise his kids. A man who doesn't have any kids enters a relationship. Oh, he's just trying to get to your money. Oh, he's just after one thing. I know that at one point in this video, because I didn't watch the whole video, she suggests that there's a man who is it's like towards like later in the video. There's a man who is saying that he thinks another woman is beautiful, which is obviously he's flattering a girl on the show because that's the point, and that that Bryrony thinks that the women are all out of the league of these men. Like these men are not like they're in over their heads. Like these girls are way out of these men's league. And I'm like, bitch, all of these people were chosen because they're all pretty good looking. That's one of the main reasons why they're on the show, is that they're all decent looking, right? They all fit a kind of within a range of, you know, generally attractive people, young, fit, you know, whatever. And they fit a certain, like, I don't want to say archetype, but there's like a stereotype. Like there's a guy covered in tattoos. There's a guy who, you know, is very straight-laced, and there's a guy who's Christian, and there's a guy, you know, who's emotional, and they have like the range, and that's literally what the show is. Like the black guy is really emotional and he cries at one point. And of course that's a problem for her too. So, you know, and but yeah, like it's just she's extremely uncharitable, and it's on purpose, it's by design, and it's to, I think, to black pill her audience, to men. But she's got a man. She's in a relationship, if not married. I think she's married. At least I think she claimed to be. She's got a ring. So she's obviously like fine. But she's blackpilling the women in her audience because we're talking about a show where everyone is good looking and they all are getting into relationships, and you know, yes, there's drama and it's got train wreck stuff in it, but what if you're like a normal, like a 5 or a 4 watching this, how much hope does that give you? What, and that's the same woman who's going to read, you know, the Minotaur book.
Yeah.
Because like real men suck. They're all bastards. They're all garbage. So just something to think about. I think that I think that women like this, they sabotage other women's chances in the dating market by telling them constantly that men are trash everywhere all the time. And I think that a lot of women buy into it.
Well, yeah. Well, because if you do that, then you can actually really up your, you can punch way above your weight as a woman. If you completely sabotage all the other women, then if you're a woman who is the least a bit interested in commitment, suddenly you can pull you're a 5, you can pull yourself at 8. You know, you have huge amounts of debt. You can get a man who's rich and will pay it off. Like, yeah.
And if she can get these women to stay virgins their whole life, then she can lure them to her place, murder them, and bathe in their blood so that she can live forever. It's all going according to plan.
Okay, let's hear what she has to say about Jordan.
All right.
I'm a single dad, so that occupies quite a bit of time, and that's my number one priority.
But it could possibly also be due to his immaturity issues. He's really open saying that he got snipped, and good on him. Like, honestly, that's very progressive. That's great. We love that. But he's...
Oh, okay. So he got a vasectomy, and she's all about that again. what does this suggest? Like that men should not want children. She thinks that's very progressive and that we like that. A man who is essentially like an I don't know, like his pistol has no ammo. We're good. We're happy about that. We're happy about that. That's what she's saying. I don't know, man. That's so dark to me. That's just dark as shit. But anyway.
Very convinced that it's easily reversible. However, the longer that the snip is in place, the harder it is to do the reversal. I just like to make sure that people are well informed, okay? It turns out that Luca, his son, has type 1 diabetes, and Sparkle's dad actually recently passed away in 2020 from type 1 diabetes as well. And this forms a big part of their bond. Ellie, who's...
All right, I'm pausing it there. Just because we don't want these to be too long. So Bryrony knows that vasectomies are less reversible as time goes on. She points it out to her audience, but I don't know if anyone's going to tell this guy about that. I mean, he may at some point be like, I think I want to have kids again. And then he's going to go into the doctor's office and they're going to be like, sorry, it's too late. You're done. And is Bryrony going to be sad for him?
No.
No, she doesn't care. So, I mean, I think it's you know, it's pretty freaking messed up to just be like,
Yeah.
I support that without knowing what it means for people. And I know these are realities TV people. Maybe this is all fake. I don't know. But it's just, you know, kind of fucked. Okay, so he's going to go into Alley now. Should I jump ahead to a different time code?
Yeah, 25 minutes. Go to 25 minutes.
All right, 25 minutes. Here we go.
Because, you know, it's revealed that there's still this guy on the outside, and this is where it gets weirdly sexual and talking about a landing strip.
Oh, you have a landing strip, and now that's been the whole talk.
Shut up.
She's trying to use her sexuality to be able to snare him, right? And she says something very telling.
If you look like a baby seal, you want me to look like one. I want to give you what you need.
Like she's trying to mold herself to be whatever a man wants her to be. Both of them need a good community around them. And
oh God.
Okay, but I don't understand how people make manipulators if they're women out to be the victim. Like, this is what this is. She's making a female manipulator out to be the victim because she has to mold herself into what a man wants. Okay, but what if a man is molding himself into what a woman wants so he can get one over on her? Do you think he's the victim because he has to mold himself?
He's the manipulator in both
He's
cases.
the manipulator, and yeah, like it's just.
But the thing is, too, I mean, I wouldn't even go so far as to say it's manipulation because I think that they both just are horny and they're in the room with each other and they're just talking about what they want. And I don't think there's anything untoward happening. I don't think it's sinister. I just think they're horny and they need to get bonked, unless they're going to follow through, and that's fine. But Bryrony has to make it sound a lot more, I don't know, scary than it is. Like it even has like playful music playing, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
And
so,
she's the one. If anything, the girl is the one that's kind of, I wouldn't say objectifying, but she's the one talking about the man's like body parts, like his pubic hair, right?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you have a landing strip.
Yeah.
So like, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
All right.
And therapy rather than a relationship. Mike comes in again trying to throw Jordan under the bus and sow seeds of doubt into Sparkle's mind. However, Sparkles feels really good and happy anytime that she's around Jordan, and that's very good, like that's very healthy, rather than feeling like all of this doubt and fear and like I feel like there's something wrong here, you know, like she was getting with Mike. And she takes the fact that he has Luca very seriously as well. Like she's considering him in the life that they're planning out together, which is very good, obviously. Like any step parent should be like accommodating and stuff. However, he's also saying that it comes down to like Luca's mum, Skylar, about, you know, contact and all that sort of stuff, because yes, absolutely. But she also brings up his vasectomy.
Okay, just pausing there for the
I want you to note that it's still about the woman for Bryrony.
Yes.
Not the relationship and certainly not the man. Like it's still just about the woman. So we've seen from Sparkle Megan's behavior with Patrick, she can be very manipulative to get what she wants. without really feeling anything for him, right? Because I guess she thought she could get a proposal from him and then they win, however this works. But now she's looking at this situation and she's putting Megan's interests first, despite what Megan has portrayed about herself in this previous interaction. Wouldn't you put Jordan first or his son? But no, it's still about Megan. And Megan was also a victim of her manipulation because she had to act in order to manipulate Patrick. She had to pretend to be interested in him and to be what he wanted. It's a really fantastic tool for never taking accountability as a woman. Okay, let's listen to some more.
All right.
And says most females don't want to be pumping themselves with hormones, myself included. Oh dear, we have some right-wing propaganda sneaking in, and oh my goodness, everybody's going off birth control. Huh, I've already talked about that whole phenomenon too.
Maybe.
Yeah. So so they have a conversation about birth control, and Bryrony thinks that the idea that female hormonal birth control affects your hormones is just poppycock, even though it's literally in the name of the type of birth control. And the people who I know that are the most against hormonal birth control are women. Like, it's not men saying the science says that I control your bodies by telling you that birth control is bad for your hormones. No, it's women who say, I refuse to take this because I know it's going to fuck with my hormones, going to fuck with my brain. It's going to make me different. It's going to change who I am. I've known a lot of women that wouldn't take birth control because they knew that there were side effects to their hormones. And Karen has talked about it, and Aiden Paladin did a whole thing about it. And, Lindsay's talk about when I first started dating her. She's like, I'm not fucking with my hormones. This was like, when we first met. I mean, not when we first met. We weren't talking about birth control at the time, but, shortly after we started dating. And so, yeah, it's like, but Bryrony has to frame it like it's something men do to women, and women don't make these choices. They don't even think about these things. But I think that a woman who takes her fertility seriously is going to think about those things and at least consider them. So.
Okay.
All right.
We discover that we're each other's purpose too,
Oh. Nick meets up with the woman he loves most, Kate, saying that there's actually people that he's torn between now.
The fact that I can also see that with somebody else. I'm being pulled in two separate directions.
I love watching her face because same, what the hell is going on?
You told me you loved me 2 days ago.
You acting kind of shady. You are exactly right, Kate. The fact I'm having hesitation.
Okay, this is not, I need more precise time codes, but let's move to the next one.
All right, what's the next one?
Okay.
Yeah, you're on a reality TV show. There's going to be some dudes that are trying to like spread their seed. What are you going to do? And there's going to be some women too trying to get laid. So.
Okay, so 33. Go to 33.
33 minutes.
So, I mean, essentially that what we just watched was Bryrony comparing Mike and Jordan and saying that Mike was creating drama, but this is going to be more of that. So,
okay.
So once again, the love triangle is Mike, Jordan, and Sparkles, Megan. Let's go.
That patriarchy is bad for everybody. The thing is that he didn't want to show weakness and vulnerability.
Can I go back a little bit? I want to hear that patriarchy is bad for everybody because that's crucial.
I think that she's made the wrong choice.
Don't make me cry.
And so she's like, cry.
I can't.
This is yet another example of why we say that patriarchy is bad for everybody. The thing is that he didn't want to show weakness and vulnerability.
Patriarchy is bad for everybody. No, actually, statistically, men are losing a lot more life in order to maintain these roles, and sparing women a lot of loss of life. So, I mean, if we come down to the basic metric of human existence, which is life lost, I actually had extended conversation with Grok about this, and I got Grok to estimate men lose probably about 5 years of life in their role. And that's across everything: the stress, the dangerous jobs, death in war, death dealing with crime, and in first responder roles. So everything, 5 years. And if the burden of men's role was shifted over onto women, they would probably lose something like 5 to 8 years. And the reason why they'd lose more is because it would take more dead women to do the jobs that men do. Like there would be more. So the jobs that men do probably result in, like, I don't know, let's say 9 deaths. If women had to take it over, it'd be 13 instead. There would be more dead women. So this is what men are sparing women. So when these individuals say that patriarchy hurts men or hurts women more, or men too, it's absolutely, it preferentially hurts them. It hurts them more.
Yeah, but is
Okay?
that patriarchy though?
Well, no, it is not.
Because I already said that we're not living under patriarchy, and we're not living under egalitarianism. We're living under a distorted view of, well, basically like the hybrid model that only benefits women, no matter
Well,
what it is.
if you think that women can be benefited in this way, which I don't.
No, I don't think it does, but I think that's the intention.
Yeah, well, I don't even think it's the intention. I think it benefits a particular ideology overall. Like, the more I look at this, these single women, when I say they're in a tar pit, I mean it. They are the most miserable, and they lose. They're losing 1 to 5 years of life by pursuing this lifestyle, right? They're losing life. They're losing happiness, and they're stuck in a tar pit, a reinforcing tar pit with other women who they can't even really have any camaraderie with because they can't trust them. And they're constantly undermining. When women undermine each other, they cannot have true bonds with each other. How can they? If Sally is busy undermining all of the women around her, she knows that they're likely doing the same thing to her. How can you construct any true fraternity or any true sorority based on that? You can't. So these women are living in this perpetually self-isolating tar pit, and they're locked into this hell, and they've locked each other into this hell because they can't handle their own envy. It's and the only thing that feminism is doing is just pouring more tar into the tar pit. And it's like, yeah, you could say, well, this is about women's benefit. I don't think it is. It's about benefiting women's self-destruction. Right? And honestly, it's like an addict thinking getting more booze benefits them. These women are in a place where they think that more self-destruction is empowerment. And it's really fucked up. And I don't think anybody's benefiting from this at this point.
Well, I will. All I'm saying is it's not patriarchy, and
No,
it's not
no,
egalitarianism either. That's
no,
all.
it's not egalitarianism. It's not patriarchy. It is miseryarchy. It is miserable people making each other miserable. Okay.
The other thing too is that I think this guy, and I don't think he's wrong, but I think this guy is like, I can't cry around this woman, even if she's telling me it's okay, because she'll probably become disgusted. So this is another thing that Bryrony Claire won't even entertain, because like the idea that patriarchy hurts men too does not ask women if they would be okay with that. And if it did, women would likely lie anyway and say, oh yeah, I'm fine, he can cry around me, that's cool. And then he does, and it's added to the ick list. It's another
Why does he have to cry around someone who rejected him? I think that's what's happening here.
Well, yeah, I don't know. And another thing too is that this is reality TV. We don't know if any of this is like editing to look a certain way, to like be spun a certain way. They add in the music, they cut in certain things. He may have not cried at all, because if he did, it would show. But he probably just said, something like, I feel terrible. I feel like I could, because I'm losing something. Like, I guess he's getting dumped, right? So
yeah, Yeah. But this is Mike. Let's go to Jordan.
All right, what's the next time code?
No, keep going.
Oh, okay.
This was just set up.
Ability, which is the thing that cut him off to true love. Jordan proposes to Sparkle.
Let's go. This is great.
Nick and Annie meet. They're both very happy.
Will you marry me?
Yeah. And I just wanted to share with you this clip of how he goes back to like the pod.
I miss you already.
I know. Wait for me.
You're welcome. Jordan and Sparkles meet.
So nervous.
What?
I don't know.
And he's instantly showing her pictures of Luca. Megan was so anxious and nervous because of all of the things that Mike had been saying as well. Like, he's just not a good guy. These two do seem really cute though. And we've got her plastic surgery reveal because she'd recently had her implants taken out, but she's still got her BBL. So that's why, like, her butt looks as good as it does.
Are we really normalizing
Okay.
this?
All right, let's go to 44.
All right, 44.
Gonna last. Then they go back home and start living together normally. Well, Edmund does put himself in a closet.
Oh, like, that's me in the closet. That's great. That's lit.
Okay.
Then Sparkle starts to get all worried about meeting Luca's mum. Obviously, like, this is a really big responsibility, and she is taking,
Sparkle's
like,
got
the full weight of the responsibility.
nervous. I just want you to note this. So Sparkles gets nervous meeting, I think, Lucas' mom. So that meeting the relative, one of the relatives, or the ex-wife of Jordan. So she's nervous meeting, I guess you could call it a relative since it's the mother of his child. Let's keep going. I just want you to note this. Baby mama.
Well, that's going to be, yeah, that's always tough. But anyway.
On. Episode 8. Joe and Madison are disconnecting a bit, like they're not really seeing eye to eye on things because he's still struggling to get that connection between the pod and real life. Still. Like I said, I do believe this is an attraction issue.
Sorry, I'm like too interested in you. Like, I'm like excited about you. That's how I'm feeling right now.
She can tell, like we can, that.
Ugh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Like,
that's it.
wow, that's a lot.
Well, yeah,
of
so passive aggressive
aggression.
though, right?
Sorry, I'm so interested in you. Well, that's your problem. I mean, honestly, isn't that what we say to men who are more interested in a woman than a woman is in them? Ugh. Anyway,
Yeah.
she doesn't note that because, of course, why would you? And nobody does really. Like, I had Grok do a gender swap criticism of the people on this show, and of course, the men get more of it. And if you gender swap, it just completely reverses, because this is about presenting these examples of outrage in order to support the notion of toxic masculinity and systemic patriarchisms. Okay, let's keep going.
All right.
And then he's into her. And he says that he's struggling because it's a lot. And it's like, yes. And that doesn't mean that he should be pushing away this person, you know? Jordan's a power reveal.
What? What? Okay, sorry. I know that we're about to go into Jordan again, which is what I threatened you all with, but
Oh, he's got like a futon and like a little tiny place. Men will. What is that? Is there like a big TV and a PlayStation? Men will live like this and call it normal. How can men live like this easily? But no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, she's basically saying that he shouldn't push her away. Why does her desire for him obligate him to reciprocate, Bryrony?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say the same if it was a man?
Surprise, surprise! On the reality show where people are they only meet for like a short period of time. Sometimes they don't work out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, let's keep going.
All right.
The futon in the lounge that he sleeps on, it was actually really sweet that he'd given up the only room to his son Luca. But Sparkles already has a realtor set up, like she is locked in. She wants to make this work. It turns out Allie and Anton both work night shifts, and they've both been awake for 24 hours to be able to get through this last bit, right? Then they start talking about home responsibilities because he cooked breakfast, and so she's like, oh, well, I should wash up then. It turns out that when she was studying full time, she lived at home and her mum did everything. She didn't do anything. And as she says,
cleaning is not going to be like a priority for me.
Oh no. Oh, she'll learn.
I wonder what she's going to say. I wonder what Bryrony's going to say.
Yeah, I want to
Bryrony
know.
is-
Let's see.
I think that when he was on about a traditional relationship, he was picturing her doing a majority of that stuff, let's be honest. And once again, the topic of money comes
Well,
up. and I will-
considering
So
that,
it's his fault then.
oh yeah, of course it's his fault. It's his fault she doesn't have basic life skills. I mean, he can't even expect her to pull her own freaking weight. All right, let's what time code are we at?
4534.
4534. Okay, I think we only have a little bit more to this time code. So let's
All right, finish it.
continue.
Okay.
Yep.
Pete, it costs a lot of money to be able to look as good as she does. The concept of a joint account and separate accounts come up. Now, finances is very important to talk about in a relationship.
Oh, again, now she says it costs a lot of money for her to look as good as she does. So this is again suggesting that like no one else, I don't know, like doesn't it cost money for anybody to work on themselves? And was he not enough for her anyway? Like didn't she choose him? Like I don't understand. Like because she's pretty, what? That means that she just costs more money to keep that. And you know, he wanted a traditional relationship or marriage. She agreed. She's there. So what's the problem? Anyway.
It's good that they're having this discussion, but he's like, well, why can't we just rely on a joint account? And she's like, well, I don't want you to know how much I spend on Botox and stuff. A joint account for joint expenses and also having your own individual money makes perfect sense. Like that's how we function, and we've done that for many years. Like we've been together for like it'll be 13 years next year.
Maybe I don't want to tell you how much I spent on Botox.
So Bryrony doesn't combine her finances with her partner.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign for a relationship, by the way, guys. All right, let's keep going.
They're talking about it. However, I don't think that he can afford her, and I think that this is going to be the thing that breaks him up. Him judging her as
he can't afford her. Okay, so this is the woman who's like, oh, I don't like traditional gender roles, which they aren't traditional, but regardless, we'll go. I don't like the 50s housewife. He can't afford her. This woman is an abject hypocrite. He can't afford her. That shouldn't come out of your mouth. You were talking about, hey, maybe Bryrony could encourage women to change how they estimate a man's worth. Are you flipping kid? No, she still buys into it. She's still saturated in it. I wonder who paid for the house she lives in. And then she has a go at this guy saying, I want to treat my woman. I want to take care of my woman. What do you think the flip side of he can't afford her is? But the problem there is that men take a positive identity from supporting a woman. Is that it, Bryrony?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to infuriate me. I know it. Let's keep going.
Just being frustrated with him over the fact that he's not very ambitious.
Maybe picking myself. What coconut fell off the tree?
Calabria meets Edmund's mum, and she's very sweet. She's going to give her
it's
her
done.
beans. It's very nice. And she gives her...
What?
I think this is done. I think this might be done. So
Yeah, okay.
we might go back. Or it might just be like a montage. So let's go to 50, 30. 50 minutes in, 30 seconds.
Got it.
Couple of beers every single day, and this is like a little bit worrying. Like it may not count as an alcoholic, but it's like, what are your reasons for doing that? Is it like, I need a beer to be able to relax? Because yeah, I'd be worried as well.
A couple beers a day.
She's a nurse, you know, like she's...
What? Did I jump
I don't
ahead
know
too
what this
far?
is in reference. Yeah, I don't think you did. It's just probably a little bit of overlap with something else. These time codes aren't precise.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
She's all sorts. Patrick arrives and fills all the boys in on Casey.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, oh, well, what are you doing tomorrow? You know?
He hasn't seen her at all. She texted him that she doesn't want to do the show anymore, and he's like, oh, it's okay. We can just call. Like, we can meet up. Like, that's fine. And she's like, no, I don't want to.
She's like, well, just tell everyone we're broken up for now.
Like, she won't even have a phone call with him.
Bro, I asked for the ring back, and she basically stopped talking to me. She said, she was like, I asked her for the ring back, and she was like, no.
But the thing is that, once again, the rings are provided by the show. They're not paid for by the guy, so you don't have to return them at all. And actually, even if you don't go through the wedding, you still get to keep the ring. Like, that is part of it.
You act like you're the only one that's hurt in this situation.
Why are you so obsessed with keeping this ring?
I don't know. She's trying to imply that this guy is like the bad guy for wanting something that isn't his. Again, I have to remind you guys, this is reality TV. Probably a lie, like some of this stuff, or at least overblown, or something. You know, maybe he wanted her to return the ring to the people who from the show. I don't know. But this is a good opportunity for Bryrony to use this to impugn all men everywhere, because that's all this. Even though we're looking at, a subset of a subset of a subset, this is all men. When when it's framed by, the blood countess. So,
Oh my gosh.
And that was her last text.
The world. She's the worst.
Maybe that scummy guy that was telling her to go on the show, maybe he'll just be like, okay, well, that can count as our engagement ring now. I don't know. I just want her to go, like, do some inner healing, really. Kate is back. Remember the love of Nick's life?
Okay, I think we might be just wandering into the weeds. Let's go to wait. No, it should be Sparkle meets Luca's mom. I think this is a recap of the so let's just keep going.
Just keep playing
going
through here.
Yeah,
okay.
just keep playing. Yeah.
To see her now. I would be Madison in this situation, because I absolutely would be bringing the person over to be like, hey, have you met my friend Kate? Like, I'm a wooden spoon. What can I say? Brendan really loved Annie, but it's like she doesn't care at all. Very clearly.
Everything you thought it would be?
Mike actually apologizes to Sparkles for making her cry, and I appreciate this. At least he's done some self-reflection. That's good.
I do want to apologize for, like, making you cry that one night.
He says that he'd picked a ring out for her and it would have been an emerald cut like she wanted, and blah, blah, blah.
I picked one out for you.
Oh, God. No, this is...
Perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he decided not to slide into her DMs, because that would have also been, like, really scummy. Like, even the things he's bringing up now, it's like, this is really appropriate.
Do you think you made a mistake?
No.
Look, whatever,
I think you need to
man.
move on, dude.
Yeah, I mean, but like, this is for TV. Like, just take it with a grain of salt, guys.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my friends, like, he's meeting my family, and they're like, this is the guy you fucking marry.
I'm so glad that she's being this honest with him, because
I think
he'll be able to
okay,
grow
so
and maybe
what she's referring to is he had Jordan meet her family.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing is somewhere in these time codes, but for whatever reason I couldn't be identified precisely. So she took him to meet her family, and now they're saying that he's the one that you marry. Jordan is the one you marry, and not Mike. And then Jordan, again, is the guy without money. Mike is the one who apparently has at least some money.
Yeah.
So let's just good luck finding it. Let's just keep going. Maybe they'll.
So pay those people you allegedly haven't paid. We finally get to see Anna and Patrick. The way that he comes up to Anna is very aggressive.
You have to share her.
She was my number one until she left me. God damn it.
Okay.
I don't know why you left me. I don't know why you did that.
And she's like, let's go and chat. The far better way to come up against like this sort of topic.
I do feel really bad for not saying anything before I left.
That was aggressive?
Anna's
Huh?
That was aggressive on his part?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Well, again, she this is the thing. This is the great thing about getting takes from the blood countess, is that she gets to
okay, here we go.
frame she basically sets the emotional tone by giving what she thinks. It's like she says this is shocking, this is inappropriate, and she does so with like her body language and her tone and the way that she, the words that she uses, and her audience sees it and they're like, oh, it is inappropriate. Like they just glom onto it emotionally and they just go along with it. So she sets the tone, makes a claim, acts verklempt. Then the people who watch her videos, they see her reacting and they're like, oh, I must react this way because she's reacting this way. I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? It's like a kind of parasocial thing. I mean, that's how TV works.
Yeah.
Like if you want people to feel like a certain way, then you just show someone feeling that way, like, cranked up to 11. And then the hope is that people who watch it will get it cranked up to 6. Just by like watching it. So it just has the same effect.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. So 46, 44. Let's go to 46, 44.
44.
Yeah. 46, 44.
Back. Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully that's right here. Okay. Okay. So this is Jordan meeting Sparkle's parents.
All right.
Moment.
Jordan Sparkles meet her family, and it's the 4th anniversary of her father's passing, so it's like a very big day. Jordan is very much a simpler kind of guy, and I think that we can all pick up that Sparkles has got fancier taste.
But I do love Megan, to the moon and back.
Personally, I don't think that this relationship will last because she will be the main breadwinner and he will feel emasculated by this, and she will probably struggle with his immaturity about this, and that's the thing that's going to
Okay. Oh, okay. Wait.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so she's throwing shade on Jordan and Megan, even though she says he's more mature than Mike. And why? Because Jordan makes less, and she's suggesting because he's nervous about meeting her family on the 4th anniversary of her dead father, that he's going to be emasculated by the fact that she earns more. So it's on him. She's, of course, Megan Sparkles, of course, would never emasculate Jordan for earning less. So this is what's infuriating about this woman. She is 100% stuck in the idea that men exist to provide and protect for women. But she absolutely will not acknowledge that the people who have stuck men there are women.
Yep.
That women have these expectations. No, it's on him. He's going to feel emasculated. But also the fact that Mike feels good about himself for being rich, supposedly, or is cocky because he's rich, supposedly, that's also bad. So men need to, earn their women. What did she say? She said Jordan won't be able to earn Sparkles, right? He won't be able to afford Sparkles, right? He won't be able to earn Sparkles through his money.
And he's going to feel emasculated and
he's going to feel emasculated.
Find him immature. But like, what does that mean though? Because couldn't her finding him immature just mean he's not making enough money?
Yeah,
like,
that's basically what it means. He's not ambitious. He doesn't make enough money. He's not ambitious. Exactly. Okay, but my point is that she says that Jordan won't be able to afford Sparkles.
Yeah.
And at the same time, and Jordan is going to feel emasculated. Well, you're just emasculated him, Bryrony. You just emasculated him by you're just saying that he's not. What is emasculation? It's saying to a man, you have no worth. What do you mean? What do you think it meant when you said Jordan can't afford Sparkles? Right? It means that you think he has less worth, Bryrony. It means that you are emasculating him. You are judging him on the scale. This is the scale. Top is man is good provider. Bottom is man is not a good provider, right? And this is masculated and this is emasculated. And you are judging him on that scale, Bryrony. Where do you think men are they just don't notice this? You think your husband or your boyfriend doesn't notice this, Bryrony? He doesn't notice that you judge him based on his finances? Well, you certainly don't trust him based on your finances, but anyway, let's finish this off. And actually, before we finish it off, just one last thought. Sorry, Brian. She is reading a lot into Jordan being nervous about meeting Sparkle's family. She is reading a lot. And what's interesting is she didn't read that whole hell of a bunch into Sparkles meeting Jordan's family, at least his baby mama and his son. She didn't read all that into that. Maybe he's just nervous because he wants to give a good impression on the 4th anniversary of Sparkle's father's death. Like, maybe he's a little nervous about the impression he's giving. This woman is so uncharitable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a man breathes in front of her, and she's like, "Why did you steal my oxygen? Why are you stealing women's oxygen? Do you think you're entitled to oxygen?" Like, oh. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
When women feel a negative emotion, it's because of something men did to them. When men feel a negative emotion, it's because of some insecurity that men have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's men's fault both ways.
I mean that they're not like a nice couple. It's just the reality of that and like all of that messaging from the patriarchy, and it will eat away at his male ego. That's what I think. Then we see Nick.
The radio waves from the patriarchy, radio tower central, send out the patriarchal waves of insecure masculinity. Target this man.
Yeah, it's not going to come from his Sparkles. It's not going to come from people like Bryrony, which it just did. You just saw that, right? You saw what she did. It's not going to come from her. It's going to come from this mysterious patriarchy, except the patriarchy seems to have a voice like, "Oh, I just can't believe you don't. You can't earn her. You haven't earned her. She's the table. What are you? You have," and it has a suspiciously falsetto voice, this patriarchy. A suspiciously feminine voice. Oh, wait. Actually, you know what? It's the women around him that are receiving the patriarchal vibes and then shaming him. You see, Bryrony just briefly tuned in to a patriarchal radio wave when she said that he can't afford her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I keep going, or is there another time code,
sure.
or what?
Wait,
Okay.
58. Let's go to 58. It's a final flipping time code. 5850.
5850?
Yes.
Hi. Sparkles and Jordan may get married, but then I think that they would actually break up because of the financial issues and him feeling emasculated by her being in that position of power over him, because it is recognized that having more money does put you in a position of power. I think that
what
inherently materialistic view, by the way.
Yes.
So basically, she admits that when men have more money than women in relationships, despite the fact that men, like who has more money doesn't mean anything as much as who money is spent on. That means that those men have power over women. But when women make more money, the men like relationships can't work because men feel emasculated and insecure, not because women are like thinking to themselves, I can do better, which is like more likely the case. But whatever. I mean, I'm not saying that like there can be a relationship where a woman makes more and she's with a man because she loves him and it doesn't really matter. But most of the time that's not how it goes. It's just the truth is women want security. They expect it from men. And if a man makes less, they feel less secure, even if the woman has more.
Yep.
So,
and also Bryrony totally 100% buys into judging men on this metric. Otherwise, she would never have framed it as he can't afford her. Right? He would never framed it like that.
yep.
Okay.
He has a job.
Yeah,
so,
he has a job.
I mean, he's obviously able to sustain himself and his son. So, anyway, should I keep going?
Yeah, sure. Let's finish off.
All right.
that position of power over him, because it is recognized that having more money does put you in a position of power. I think that Annie will figure out that Nick
not
is
if not if the government takes the money from you and gives it to someone else. Okay, so that's basically her her overall statement. Okay, I'll just read this out. Bryrony predicts that Sparkle and Jordan may get married, but could break up due to financial issues and Jordan's insecurities, which incidentally he never mentions, and her entire source of is maybe some things, ways he's looked during the thing, and
He's been awkward at times, apparently.
He's been awkward at times. I
Yeah.
think specifically when she was talking about how much it costs to look like her. And he also was nervous meeting her family. That's what Bryrony is basing this entire analysis on. His insecurities. Okay.
Which are not proven. They're just simply implied or suggested.
There's something implied. This is part of our overall show recap. Okay. Bryrony presents Jordan and Sparkle as one of the healthier and more empathetic couples on the show, highlighting Jordan's maturity and empathy, especially regarding his son, Luca. She contrasts Jordan's behavior positively against more manipulative male contestants like Mike. However, she also expresses concern about their relationship's long-term viability, particularly due to financial disparities and Jordan's potential feelings of emasculation, as conjectured by Bryrony. But let's face it, she'd say that about any man in this scenario. That it would be his feelings of emasculation that would undermine the relationship, not her leaving because she thinks he should bring something more to the table. Throughout these discussions, Bryrony uses various... Okay, that's irrelevant. Okay, so that's her conclusion. And I just wanted to compare that with Mike because Mike is apparently more wealthy, but he's no good because he's immature or something, or he's manipulative, or he was cocky about his wealth or whatever else. I mean,
he's
all
a
of this,
finance bro.
He's a finance,
So.
and again, all of this reflects on all men, not just cherry-picked men.
None of the men on this show were good enough for the blood countess. None of them.
No,
they all like even the one that she found the most sympathetic. She criticized for being immature and like unable to handle a woman that has more and is girl bossing harder or whatever. I don't even think Annie is a girl boss. I think that she's just like, you know, inherited a lot of money from family. She literally
Sparkles.
Sparkles.
No, this is Jordan was with Sparkles. Nick is with
Annie.
Annie.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Sparkles is what I was talking about. Not.
Yeah. Sorry, it's
entrepreneur.
I guess her name is Megan. She just calls herself Sparkles as a nickname.
Yeah,
well, she's really punching above her weight with him in terms of his looks.
Well, I don't know if you can say that. That sounds like
no, seriously.
Something.
Like you gotta you have to subtract
mid.
the makeup.
She's pretty mid, yes.
Yeah, she's definitely mid. And he's probably a good 2 points higher than her in reality, because not just look at what she looks like here. You got to subtract the makeup. And even here, she looks like there's about at least a 1 point disparity on the looks match scale. And so she's punching well above her weight in terms of her looks there. Well, you gotta compromise somewhere. Bryrony.
Yep.
He's obviously bringing something to the table. It may not be money. But anyway, so I mean, it's just like this is so infuriatingly shallow. Again, it's all constructed. Bryrony, of course, looks at this and says this is reflection of reality, which is really the big problem. And none of the men are good enough. And this guy, there was nothing freaking wrong with him. She had to invent something wrong with him. I can only imagine what she must be like in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Do you have an insecurity? You looked at me strange. I thought I chained you down to the floor so you couldn't look at me. But you did. I gotta tighten the chains. Put some spikes in through your feet. Like, oh, could you like just imagine what it must be like with you? The thing is that she has the audacity to lecture people about their relationship when she is an entire Chinese parade of red flags. Like the complete lack of the continuous reading bad faith into everything. Yeah, so what if Mike was manipulative? He's on a manipulative show. He's trying to win in this manipulative circumstance where they commodified the process of human courtship and forming families. A sacred thing that's been commodified. It's all grotesque. And she's like picking through the shit patty for the particularly disgusting nuggets. Well, it's all grotesque because you are taking something that is sacred and you're shoving it into the public eye as entertainment.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So
Jordan Polo is weird, and yes, 2 points higher. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what else to say about this. Like, we could have gone through the most of it or a good portion of it, but I felt like zeroing in on the Mike.
No, I think that makes
Jordan
I think that's better.
Sparkles.
This is like an hour-long video about a reality TV show.
Yeah, and all it is
there are people who do much better jobs of this than Bryrony because they don't apply the intersectional lens to it and just shit on the men. Usually, it's like making fun of the absolute train wreck people, like just their behavior, and it has nothing to do with their sex or their beliefs or whatever. So,
but this show has actually, I did an analysis, and this show has changed over the years, and the criticism of the people on it has changed. So initially, it was more balanced. Then it became, in the mid seasons, it started to move towards like mean girl behavior because there was a lot of clique and gossiping and bullying and stuff like that going on on the woman's side. And then in the later seasons, which might correspond with Me Too, they started to bring in this analysis of the toxic male behavior and connect it with like systems of systematicness, right? I don't think women understand the word system, to be honest. But regardless, this is what they did. So they brought in more of that. And so Bryrony is sort of feeding on that. It's on the general cultural consensus that men are the problem. In this show that specifically finds problematic men, edits them to make them even more problematic and dramatic in their problems, and presents them out of context to create outrage. So women have gone to the dessert tray, like the dessert cart, and they have found dessert. Women most affected. They have gone to the thing that specifically manufactures bad male behavior, that packages, manufactures it, and presents it to women, and they have found this thing. Aren't men ashamed? You should be ashamed, guys. Women have found mad male behavior at the factory that produces and packages it for their consumption. Don't you feel ashamed?
Yep.
Do you feel ashamed, Brian?
All the time.
But do you feel sufficient amounts of it? Do you feel ashamed that women have found bad male behavior in this piece of media specifically designed to find it, showcase it, and deliver it up to them?
Is that a rhetorical question? I mean,
I don't know.
They're always looking for it. So yeah, I'm not ashamed, but I'm also not surprised.
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah. And this is just going to keep going. They're just going to keep doing this. Like all this proves is that Bryrony is addicted to demonizing men.
Yep.
And again, we could go look at the examples that these specifically created, packaged, and delivered examples of bad male behavior that she is pointing to in a medium that is specifically doing this for a female audience to specifically create outrage. And she's looking at this product that she is consuming and saying, look at how this proves that men are bad. Right? She's gone to the men are bad factory and found that men are bad. And and this is just going to, like, there's a market for this. There is media constructing this. And there is a tar pit of women consuming it. And that's the takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so guess I will
What?
if you want to at least be a voice to help allow us to continue to be a voice pushing back against this, please help us out. feedthebadger.com/subscribe. I still don't have the monthly fundraiser up. That'll be up at feedthebadger.com/support. But subscriptions are great too. It's good to have reoccurring income. And the only thing I will ever try to sell you on is caring about this, because somebody has to push back against this. Somebody has to say this is insanity, right? Going to the man bad factory and finding bad men and then saying, look how bad men are, is insanity. This is insanity. Melissa, just like set aside the fact that it's misandry. This is insane.
Mm-hmm.
This is eating your own poop level of insane. And if you want to make sure that there's somebody out there, some buddies out there pushing back against that, please help us out with a subscription, feedthebadger.com/subscribe. I don't want hers to be the only voice. Let me put it that way. All right. And if you want to send us a message at any time when the show is over, feedthebadger.com/support. Shit, I used the O word. Yeah. Did we get any super chats? It's been quiet. I think everybody got screwed around with the multiple publishing.
Well, I think they migrated to the right place though, because we do have people here, although not the usual suspects. Like there's no Great Indoors, there's no Richard.
Well, Great Indoors might be going to bed at this hour.
Yeah,
so.
I guess it's late for him. But yeah, I mean, I see people on there, and like our vertical got 269 views.
Okay,
so that's pretty. I mean, the people didn't really stick around, but they popped in, said a few things. Hello, Martin, whatever your name is from Czechoslovakia, Martin.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says hi Czech, so I don't know. I mean,
hello.
The flag looks So hello. It's probably really late where you are too. All right, but anyway, so what are we doing now? Are we done or?
I can't even, not anymore. Let's call it a day.
We're gonna call it a day then.
Bryrony does that to me.
She's draining. She drains the soul.
Yes.
Like the blood countess.
Drains the blood.
I'm gonna call her that from now on. And we're gonna be responding to Bryrony Claire. I'm gonna make it fun for myself. So officially now, Bryrony Claire is actually Carmela, the Blood Countess. So anyway,
or Elizabeth Bathory.
The same thing.
Bathory?
Carmela Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess. Bathory, Bryrony, they basically sound the same. I'm guessing that's what it is. So anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up there.
Go ahead.
What? I'm gonna do my thing.
Oh, Richard's here. Okay, actually, this was a request by Richard. So
lurking. Oh, it was. Oh, shock.
He was indeed. Yeah, shock. She's been on a Bryrony click. Actually, you know what, Richard? If you want to do another request, find another crazy dumbass. We need fresh blood.
It's all.
We need fresh blood.
It's all cancer to me. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, which one's worse? Is it She-Ra, Manifestel, Bryrony, Queer Kiwi?
I think Bryrony tries to I think Bryrony tries the hardest, like in terms of like formatting, because like She-Ra barely speaks, and Manifestel, she's just like she's like a horror monster from it's like one of those stalkers, that you can't kill and you just have to avoid it till it leaves. It's like something out of Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Yeah, one of a Japanese ghost. instead of croaking, she's like going on and on with vocal fry, which is like its own kind of croak, you know. But
Oh man.
oh god. Anyway,
Oh, good lord. Okay, yeah.
so like whatever, man. I mean, what you know, it's a living. But with that said, thank you guys for coming on the show today. If you guys like this video, please hit like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications, leave us a comment, let us know what you guys think about what we discussed on the show today in this video. You find a link to it in the description. I don't know why you'd want to watch it, but you could if you want to put yourself through that. And please, please, please share this video because sharing is caring. Thank you guys so much for coming on today's episode of Maintaining Frame, and we'll talk to you guys in the next one.
Men's rights activists are machines, dude. Okay? They are literal machines. They are talking point machines. They are impossible to fucking deal with, especially if you have like a couple dudes who have good memory on top of that too. Holy shit, you're fucked.